Welcome to day 2 of our NFL draft coverage here on the Commanders Report. First up today, we're going to be talking about whether or not a trade could be on the way for the Washington Commanders here on day 2. And then I'll finish up today's show with my updated Commanders day 2 mock draft with players that I want the Commanders to target here on the second day of the NFL draft. Before we get into it, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already for our breakdown of pick number 61 in the second round later this evening. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. Our pick cut yesterday of Josh Connerly Jr. going to the Commanders did extremely well. So thank you guys so much for watching that. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on the channel. Check that out after today's video. So I would say don't be surprised, guys, if there's a trade sometime during this day 2 period that we've got going on right now. All right. I think that the slam dunk is that, maybe you trade your second round pick and maybe a future mid-round pick for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. All right, I've been saying all offseason that if you can land Trey Hendrickson for like a second-round pick or, to make that kind of trade to bring him to the Washington Commanders and really make him your sack artist moving forward, that's something that is absolutely going to be something that takes this kind of Commanders offseason from one that's been okay, it's been all right for Adam Peters, to one that is an absolute slam dunk home run. And, just imagine if they get this guy for a second-round pick. He led the league in sacks just last year, and he's not demanding to be traded or be paid $40 million per season like Myles Garrett did this offseason. It sounds like he wants to get paid around what Danielle Hunter got paid, and for a guy like Trey Hendrickson, who's had 17.5 sacks the last 2 seasons, I think that that's almost a steal at this point now that the edge rusher market is set at $40 million per season. So if Adam Peters can pull this off, man, it's an A-plus move in my opinion. It's probably the best case scenario for what the Commanders can do with their second-round pick this year. But I will also say another possibility for a trade for the Commanders today is a move down from number 61. And we'll remember last year, that the Washington Commanders traded down in the second round to get more draft picks. And, of course, they don't have a third-round pick this year. So if there's a team that's willing to trade up and give the Commanders another fourth-round pick or another third-round pick in exchange just to move down a couple of spots, and there's still a lot of players left on the board that the Commanders are interested in at that point, I could certainly see Adam Peters picking up that phone, moving down and getting an additional draft pick. If that is, of course, if they can't land Trey Hendrickson by the end of the evening. So predict it for me down there in the comment section. Will the Commanders make a trade today? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section to predict it for today's pinned question. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a few seconds, and we're going to talk about our friends at Mando Whole Body Deodorant. While I'm talking about Mando today, find that pinned comment at the top of the comment section and give me a yes or a no. And spring is officially in the air, ladies and gentlemen, and that means the weather is warming up. I'm most looking forward to taking my dog out for walks and then also going to a baseball game on the weekends with either producer Joey or my girlfriend Cassie. I'm looking forward to it even more because I've started using Mando Whole Body Deodorant because unlike some other deos I've tried, it can actually handle anything. Mando is safe to use anywhere on your body and is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Also, Mando's entire line of products are baking soda-free, paraben-free, and you can choose from a variety of fresh scents like Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, or my favorite, Bourbon Leather. Mando has a special offer for new customers to get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com. And let me tell you guys, I love their body wash from Mando. I have a full bottle of it at home. When you get it in your starter pack, you're going to get a smaller bottle like this. And let me tell you, man, this sample bottle is all you're going to need to want to get the big bottle, especially if you find the right scent that you love. Personally, I like the bourbon leather scent. Keeps me smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. And then when it comes to the starter pack, guys, not only do you get do you have the option to get the body wash, but you also get a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes that are really highly recommended as well. Plus, you get free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. So now let's talk about my day 2 Commanders mock draft here. Where there's a lot of good players left on the board, man. There's a lot of guys that are falling, And I'm hoping here in round 2 that one of my favorite corners in this entire class falls to the Commanders, and that corner is Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. Now, I'm a Notre Dame fan, so maybe I'm a little biased here. But when I watch Benjamin Morrison on film, I mean, it's incredible. The way that this guy can move, the way he sticks to people in man coverage. They ran a lot of man coverage there at Notre Dame. And what do the Commanders want to do, guys? They want to run a lot of man coverage. That is the DNA of Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. Now, Morrison falling out of the first round likely tells me that, the hip issue in the injury that he had last year scared some teams off from taking him, investing a first-round pick in him. And it's certainly possible Morrison just doesn't make it to the Commanders at number 61, but there's still a lot of good corners left on the board, man. You got Trey Amos. You still got Will Johnson, surprisingly. You also have Savon Revel Jr. that's still available. Like, it's very possible that Benjamin Morrison could fall to the Washington Commanders at number 61. And in terms of fits for what the Commanders want in their defense, this guy could be a day one starter if he's healthy enough to play. And I think that he would be, potentially a Commander for life as long as Dan Quinn is here, because I think he's just such a perfect fit for what the Commanders need. Now, you might be saying at home, but Jack, they took Jonathan Jones, or they brought him in free agency. It was just a one-year deal, $5.5 million. It's certainly not irreplaceable. And I think that Morrison's a better player than Jones is at this point in their respective careers. So I would take Benjamin Morrison if he falls to number 61. Then in round 4, because I'm not doing any trades in this mock draft today, by the way, guys, I'm going to take David Walker, one of my Sperry Psychos in this year's class, edge rusher out of Central Arkansas. And, the thing I love about Walker is that not only was he just straight up dominant on his film, he played against lower level competition, but whenever he had one-on-one reps on his film last season, he was unblockable, period. And, he went to the Senior Bowl, and he looked like very similar to that, all right? He played against some of the top offensive tackles in the country, and he more than held his own. And the reason why I love him in so much, guys, is because he's built low to the ground. He automatically wins the leverage battle at the line of scrimmage, which is something I really cherish in defensive line players, and he gets after quarterbacks in a bunch of different ways. He's got bend and speed around the edge. He's got a lot of finesse moves that he can use to get to the quarterback, attacking the inside and outside shoulders with his hand fighting. And then, he's got enough power to be able to convert speed to power and bull rush offensive tackles as well. So I really like this player. He's expected to be here in round 4. I think he's 138th on the consensus big board right now. I think that would be an absolute steal for the Washington Commanders, a team looking for a designated pass rusher to play for them right away. Then in round 6, I'm going to take a early down strong safety, kind of run defending safety for the Commanders here, and Hunter Wohler out of Wisconsin. The true strong safety, guys, it's getting to be a little bit extinct in the National Football League because there's so many teams that base out of 2 high safety kind of shells. And there's very few defenses that run as much single high safety as the Washington Commanders do with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. But the Commanders are one of those teams that's a perfect fit for Wohler because they do have a true box safety in this system, and they brought in Will Harris in free agency this year, but he's kind of a smaller kind of split safety type of guy. And I think if you bring in a guy like Wohler, who's bigger, he's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he's a thumper, really smart player. He can be your early down strong safety that plays in the box. And then when you get to pass happy downs and you go to more of your 2 high safety looks in this defense, you can put Will Harris out there next to Jartavius Martin, and you're going to be able to defend the pass on those pass happy downs. So round 6 value, you're getting a starting caliber player here, in my opinion, one of my steals at the safety position in this class. I think that would be a slam dunk pick. Then in round 7, I'm going to go get one of my favorite route runners in this entire class, and Kobe Hudson, wide receiver out of UCF. Now, the reason why he doesn't have a lot of hype is because he's not a physical freak, all right? He's not somebody that's going to run crazy numbers at the combine or impress you all that much with the explosiveness numbers. He's just a technician, and I love his foot speed. I love the way that he uses his feet, too. Like, he creates so much separation, and he sets people up on double moves so well. He can separate down the field despite not being the fastest guy in the world. And, Deebo Samuel's not a route runner, all right? Terry McLaurin is, but he's your alpha type. And if you don't have a true route runner to attract attention on the other side of him, then Terry McLaurin's going to get a lot of double teams in this offense next year. If you put Kobe Hudson out there, they might be starting the season putting a lot of double teams on Terry McLaurin, but once they see this guy, Kobe Hudson, run routes and completely destroy their number 2 corners on the outside, they're not going to be wanting to do that anymore. Okay, so this is somebody I think that could be a true steal for the Washington Commanders if they can get him in round 7. I truly believe that. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Just 4 picks because I didn't do any trading down in this day 2 mock, but let me know what you guys think. Benjamin Morrison, David Walker, Hunter Wohler, and Kobe Hudson are my picks. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F down there in the comment section for my day 2 mock draft. And of course, no matter what happens today, whether they trade for Trey Hendrickson, whether they trade down from 61, whether they take a player at number 61 tonight, we will have you covered with extensive coverage of day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft for your Washington Commanders. So click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until later, guys, hail to the Commanders.